For our final dish, we're going to do chicken with caprese salad. I've just found out in the break that we've lost half our viewers, so I'm assuming all the men have left the room because I've mentioned the word salad. But call them back in, because if they were ever going to eat salad, this should be it. So add your olive oil to the pan, nice hot pan as well. And to this, add your chicken breast, skin side down. Make sure your pan's nice and hot. Should sizzle when you add it, around the edges. Make sure you're quite generous with your olive oil as well. We're cooking our chicken breast whole because we're gonna slice it afterwards. If you cook it in just separate sliced pieces, it's not as juicy, it goes quite a bit drier. But if we cook it as a whole piece, then it should come out nice and moist. Add a little bit of seasoning to your chicken as well. Just some salt and a bit of pepper, and let that tick away. Should take around 4 minutes on the skin side. Flip it over, 2 minutes on the other side, 1 minute to rest, and I'm still within my 7 minutes. For our salad, we've got some beautiful cherry tomatoes, nice fine ripened ones. We've got some lovely sweet basil and some baby mozzarella balls known as bocconcini. The reason this salad works is because of the acidity of the tomatoes, the sweetness of the basil, and the creaminess of the bocconcini. And that's all combined with the olive oil, some nice seasoning, and you'll taste it, an amazing salad. So get yourself a bowl for the salad and grab your tomatoes. Just slice your tomatoes in half. Makes them easier to pick up with the fork when you eat the salad. And like with all the recipes, if you want to use large tomatoes, that's fine as well. I mean, I use cherry tomatoes because they're quite a bit sweeter than the large ones. It sort of adds a bit to the dish, but it's fine to use larger ones, just as long as they're good quality tomatoes, that's the main bit. So they're all sliced in half. Now to this, we're gonna add some basil. Just tear the leaves off, don't cut it with your knife. You don't wanna bruise it. If you just tear it like this, it sort of follows the contours in the leaf, and it stops it bruising and stops it going black as well, more importantly. And keeps the flavour in there. You can smell the aromas of that when you're breaking it as well. It smells quite nice. I'm already getting excited about this. Caprese salad's one of my favourite things in the whole world. Basil is quite a subtle herb, not like a rosemary or a thyme, so you can be quite generous with it, and they can be quite large pieces because when you get it in your mouth it tastes really quite nice. Just check on your chicken now as well. Chicken's ready to turn. You can see that's nice and crispy and brown now. Make sure you don't turn it too early because you won't get it crispy again. So just cooking it the other side. Let that go while we finish off our salad. Now it's time for the bocconcini. You can use other mozzarellas. You can get larger ones than these, or you can just use a block of mozzarella and grate it in if you like, but these are definitely the nicest option. So just adding those in. I don't like to slice them. Gives you something to do while you eat your meal. So add that in, about maybe half as much cheese as there is tomato. So yeah, I think that's enough there. To that we add a really nice olive oil. It's really important to use a good olive oil with this because we're not cooking it or anything. The flavour of the olive oil really comes through. And if you can get a spicy olive oil, then that adds to the dish as well. But add that in, be quite generous with it. And just some seasoning to that. As always with tomatoes, salt and pepper, a must. Add that in, give that a quick stir. Once you add your seasoning to it, it's quite important to serve it because the salt draws out the moisture from the tomatoes, so it's not really the sort of thing you'd keep for the next day. If you make enough to keep for the next day, then don't add the seasoning to the bit you're going to put in the fridge. So now my chicken's cooked. I'm just going to let that rest for a minute. What I mean by rest, when you cook meat, any sort of meat, all the juices all get pushed into the centre of it. If you just let that sit for a minute or two, all those juices move out throughout the meat. It's important with all meats, especially meats you cook for a long time. So roasts or really large steaks or anything, they really get compressed to the middle. And if you just cut that straight away, it'll be raw in the center from all the juices and it'll be really dry on the outside, and you'll lose all those juices out onto your board. If you just let it sit for a minute, which is what you call resting, then all those juices will move throughout the meat and stay back within the flesh. And when you slice it, they'll stay in the chicken, make it really juicy, and stop it from being dry. So now all we need to do is slice our chicken. Just through into 3 or 4 pieces is fine. Keeping it nice and whole once again so it's juicy. Grab ourselves a plate. Just give my hands a wipe. So place your chicken on. Nice crispy skin, nice juicy flesh. Place your chicken on. Grab your salad. Put your salad on. Just like that. And some fresh basil on top. Just tearing it again. So there it is. Chicken with caprese salad. One of my all-time favorites, and I'm sure it's soon to be one of yours too. If you missed anything tonight, all the recipes are available on the website along with all the latest news. But I'll be back next week with some more great recipes, so I'll see you then. Carrots and red onion. Half a packet of Hokkien noodles.
It's a red capsicum.
What do I call it?
Onion.
Oh.